Okay, so our first question comes from Mike Blasbell. Please go ahead.
Hey guys, I was just wondering what you think of Travis Konechny, why he was chosen for the team, and what kind of role you see him potentially playing on this team.
Pardon the interruption. Can I quickly ask for your last name, please? Hello, can I ask for your last name, please? If you'd like to ask a question, we'll need your name.
We like his element of speed and skill, as well as his work ethic and kind of overall commitment to the game. We like him as a player that can play in a number of different spots. He's a natural centerman, but has played a lot of right wing the last few years, which makes him very versatile for us.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. And if I could just ask for everyone to identify what news outlet you're with as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our next question comes from Mike Johnston from Sportsnet. Please go ahead.
Hi guys, Mike Johnston, Sportsnet. Obviously, there are some big bodies on this roster, like Krause and Strome and all that. But overall, it seems like you've put together a slightly smaller group of players this year. I'm just curious, are you guys actively aiming to assemble a smaller, quicker, more skilled team compared to maybe last year, because this year's tournament is going to be overseas on the big ice?
We certainly want, it's Ryan Jankowski, we certainly want to have speed and skill. It just so happens that some of those guys this year are 5'11" and in the 5'11", 6-foot range. That doesn't mean that we're looking for a smaller team. It doesn't mean that we're looking for a bigger team. We just want to have speed and skill and ensure that the competitiveness is there from these guys. And that's the one thing we like about the group, is that they compete, they work hard, there's intangibles, and a commitment level from all of them.
And just to follow up, did the CHL Russia series kind of cement anyone's place on the selection camp roster that maybe wasn't on your guys' radar prior to that?
I think the Canada-Russia series really helped sort out our final decisions. We get a good feeling across the country who the top players are through those games. I think we see them in a different element against international competition with a little bit of a best on best, and usually the top players are the top players there that we see at the World Juniors.
All right, thanks guys.
Okay, thank you very much. Our next question comes from Ryan Kennedy of the Hockey News. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is a question for anyone. It's Ryan Kennedy with the Hockey News. In going with two goaltenders, is that kind of the new norm for this process? Because last year, Zach Vicali was a returning player, so it kind of made sense. But is this now kind of a battle for number one, and does it make the process easier?
It's Ryan Jankowski, Ryan. This is the third year that we've done it. We've found that despite only having two, we've got the competition and who the number one goalie is. We take their whole body of work into account. It's not only what they've done this year, but what they've done over the last 2 to 3 years. And historically, it's very difficult to make goaltending selections through the CIS games. You have situations where your number one coming in doesn't play well, your number three coming in plays great. This streamlines the process. We've got the best two in the country, the most comfortable that we could be, and then they can play out for who the number one guy is, which keeps that competitive element there.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our next question comes from Monty Mosher of Halifax Herald. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Monty Mosher, Halifax Herald, and a bit of a regional interest here. I get a comment on Mason McDonald, where he fits, and also Dubois.
It's Ryan Jankowski again. Mason has been one of the top goaltenders in this age group in the 1996 Borns. He won a top goaltender at the under 18 World Hockey Championships 2 years ago. He played really well for us at the summer camp, so he knows the expectations of playing internationally. He's performed internationally for us, so there's going to be certainly a comfort level from him coming into this tournament. Pierre-Luc Dubois has got off to a really good start this year. He was a key player for us at the Ivan Holinka tournament. Got off to a good start, played well in the Canada-Russia games, but really took his game to the next level after the Canada-Russia games with 14 points in 4 games for Cape Breton, and we're excited to have him. We think his overall body of work that we've seen with Hockey Canada has been high. He brings a little bit of he brings some size, he brings some compete, but he brings a well-roundedness to his game that has some underlying skill and abilities to create offense, which makes him nicely well-rounded for us.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have no questions in the queue for now, so if you'd like to queue up, it's 01. Thank you. Okay, so we have another question from Ryan Kennedy of the Hockey News. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Again, question for anybody. How does the late eligibility question around Jake Wallman change things, if at all, and when did you find out that he would be available for Canada?
We found out last Monday that his application to play for the U.S. was denied by the IIHF. We're excited to have him. You know, we tried to recruit him in the summer and have him be a part of our summer camp, which didn't work. It's a nice surprise for us, and it gives us another element on the blue line with his ability to score goals. He's got a great shot. He has 10 goals this year, leading the NCAA in defense points. It's a nice option for us, and we're excited to have him.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Brad Cochimiglio of the Village Media. Please go ahead.
Thanks. Maybe question for Ryan. Obviously, Brad Cuccimelio with Village Media. Just maybe some thoughts on Brendan Perlini of Niagara. You know, what does he bring to the table coming into camp?
Brendan has a lot of size. He skates extremely well, and he's got a great shot. It's just a matter of putting that together at camp to show us that he's one of the top 13 forwards in the country. Obviously, he brings us a dimension, or else he wouldn't be at this camp, and you put those three things together, and he's a very enticing player. We know his ability to score goals is there. He's played for us at an under-18 World Championships, and it's going to be exciting to see him on the ice and see where he stacks up with the rest of the players.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Nate Sager of Yahoo Canada Sports. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Nate Sager with Yahoo Canada Sports. For Ryan, I just wanted to ask about sort of the defense. It's last year, obviously, you had sort of the two twin towers with Theodore, Shea Theodore, and Darnell Nurse. How much does having the two guys with NCAA experience, Brandon Hickey and Jake Wallman, who regularly play against guys well into their 20s coming in, and maybe just sort of talk about the overall group in general that you're bringing, and how people might fit into roles.
We like our D group as a whole. We've got 11 guys, and the thing that they all can do is skate. They're extremely good skaters, and they're good puck movers. They're going to be able to get the pucks up to our forwards and go back and get pucks. With regards to Hickey and Wallman, there's certainly it's certainly intriguing for us that they play against bigger, stronger guys, which certainly reflects what we see through the World Junior Tournament when you're playing internationally, which should only help them through the process. And we'll see that through the two CIS games here in Toronto, how they match up physically, how all of them match up physically, but especially those two guys. They've had two real good seasons. They both played an NCAA final last year, and certainly are well deserving of being at this camp.
And for Scott Salmond, a little bit of a change with those CIS games, in that you're actually playing a select team drawn from the whole country. What was rather than just one from the teams in that area? Was there any impetus for that change?
Yeah,
the emphasis is to be as competitive as possible and to give us the best opportunity to evaluate players. So the thought process would be it's a natural partnership with the CIS, the Canadian Hockey League, and Hockey Canada. I think all but 3 of the players on the CIS roster are graduated CHL players. So we believe this is going to give us the best opportunity to evaluate our players. Bringing the best players from across the country obviously increases the talent level of that team. They're going to have an opportunity to practice when they get to Toronto, and we're expecting some real good games.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our next question comes from Mike Johnson from Sportsnet. Please go ahead.
Hey guys, Mike Johnson, Sportsnet again. Last year we saw Lawson Crouse make a big impact as an undrafted player. I was wondering, you spoke on Dubois earlier, if you could just give a quick little scouting report on the other 2 draft eligible players on this current roster, the defenseman Jake Churchin and Julien Gauthier. Why did those players stand out to you guys?
Jacob Chychrun has always been an elite player in his age group. He thinks the game extremely well. He defends very well. He's got a very pro-sized body. He's very strong for his age. Given all of that, he moves the puck extremely well, and he can skate. So he's got a very well-roundedness. We saw in the Canada-Russia series his ability to adjust to the higher level of play very seamlessly. And that's what makes him such an intriguing player for us, but also in the 2016 NHL draft. Julien Gauthier is an 18-year-old, so it's his 3rd year in the CHL, as a late birth date, 1997 born. He's got NHL size, 6'4", 215 pounds. He's a tremendous skater, and he's got a great shot. I know at one point he had 20 goals and 4 assists. Which goes to show the type of game that he plays, and then you're always looking to score goals. You want certainly to have that aspect in your lineup, and he brings that. But what I do like is that he'll power down the wing and get to the net with pucks. So it's not just his shot. He does get into the tougher areas to win puck battles and get pucks to the net, which you want to have a blend of size and skill in your lineup.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have no questions in the queue for now. As a reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press 01. Okay, so we have no more questions.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up with that. Thanks, everyone, for joining, and we'll be speaking with everyone soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Hockey Canada conference call. Thank you for your participation, and have a nice day.